An all-new premium credit card, some are saying rival the new Sapphire Reserve, at $200 cheaper, mind you. A growing list of extremely powerful transfer partners, an insanely good and under-the-radar hotel transfer partner that rivals that of Hyatt Hotels, and of course, the one everyone's been waiting for, the possibility of a direct transfer partner of one of the most powerful airline currencies known to the credit card world. This is Citi's three-step secret plan to dominate the credit card world, but they have to execute flawlessly, starting with step number one. Step number one is to launch the Citi Strata Elite, an all-new high-end premium credit card to the credit card market. A card that was rumored to launch live and in branch last Sunday. And though we have not seen the release of this card just yet, we do have a lot of details from apparently a Citi insider on what this card is going to look like at launch. Number one, it seems there's going to be an annual fee of $595. The card sports some pretty interesting multipliers, that being 12x back on hotels, car rentals, and attractions when booked through Citi Travel, 6x back on air travel when booked on Citi Travel as well, 3x back on restaurants outside of Friday and Saturday nights, and then doubling that to 6x back on restaurant spend every Friday and Saturday between 6 p.m. and 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is definitely leaving some people the most confused and interested. And then a flat 1.5x back on everything else. Now, the meat and potatoes here are the rumored credits on the specific credit card. Now, I dug deep, a little bit deeper on some of these credits, and I actually think some of them are kind of powerful if used in the right way. So they mentioned right here, it's an ultra premium credit card, so of course it's going to have credits. First and foremost, you're going to be having a $200 black lane credit biannually, so $100 every 6 months. Of course, in typical fashion of all of these premium high-end credit cards, you're always going to have some sort of credit, and the Citi Strata Elite is no different. Black lane, if you're unfamiliar, is a global chauffeur service that can take you pretty much anywhere you need to in the world. It is definitely for luxury, and it's a little bit more expensive than most things, and you're going to be getting $100 towards that every 6 months, which I dug a little bit deeper. I wanted to see the actual value of this. Now, one thing I did check for myself is I wanted to see, since I'm going to be flying to Milan, Italy very, very soon, I wanted to see how much it would actually cost to go from the Milan airport over to my first hotel, which is the Hilton in Lake Como. And I just saw that for the cheapest car they had here, which includes taxes and fees and an actual meet and greet where they come, meet you at the airport, and hold your sign up of your name, pick you up, take your bags, and take you to your destination, it was about 206 euros for this exact trip. Now, I wanted to see how this actually compared to Uber costs for the exact same trip. And after checking with Uber, at least at those time frames, it seemed to be only a difference of about 10 euros or maybe 15 euros for the entire trip, which I just thought in my mind, hey, if I'm going to be paying this much anyway for an airport transfer to a hotel, might as well have a more luxurious experience and one that is a little bit easier because they actually find you at the airport and take you to the car and they do all of that and everything is completely covered. And so I saw for this Black Lane credit, while in the US it seems to be highly overpriced, as a lot of us in the Discord were talking about, it seems abroad this actually can be fairly valuable depending on where you are and how you're using it. The second credit is a $200 splurge credit. You're going to be getting an annual credit towards this, so it's not broken up. You could use it at First Dibs, American Airlines, Best Buy, Future Personal Training, and Live Nation. And what they don't tell you here is it actually can be used towards Ticketmaster as well. And of course, Ticketmaster, you could buy tickets to shows, comedy shows, any little different shows all around the world. And so just like the Sapphire Reserve, you can use this $200 splurge credit for those live events. But you also can use it towards American Airlines, which is pretty interesting. So in my estimation, if you just buy a $200 American Airline flight, that will code towards this credit, and you could use the $200 on a specific flight, which some might say is kind of valuable. Then you're going to be getting a $300 hotel credit annually, where you get a $300 travel credit, and it will be deducted off the cost of the hotel in the portal at inception, and it's not a statement credit after the fact like American Express. You're going to be getting $300 off a hotel stay every single year. The biggest caveat is it is a 2-night minimum or more booked through citytravel.com. And as they note down here, which a lot of people noted in the Discord as well, is that when you're booking through Citi Travel, many of the properties are more expensive than what you would find on Expedia or booking.com. So I guess you would have to see how much more expensive that is on Citi Travel and how much of that is eating into the $300 credit. Now, the interesting additional benefits are right here. One, you're going to be getting complimentary Priority Pass Select membership, which I believe will allow you to bring up to two guests into Priority Pass with you for the primary card holder. Restaurants are not, in fact, included, at least from what I could see online. You're also going to be getting four American Airlines Admiral Club classes every single year, which, if you're unfamiliar, Admirals Clubs seem to be very, very nice, very, very high class. There was a few that were in London Heathrow and a few other airports that I thought were really, really nice that I wasn't able to have access to is because I never had a class or a card to allow me access to it. But our good friend Sledging Team has always noted that he loves the Admirals clubs. And so you're going to be getting four passes towards that every single year. As Frequent Miler mentions right here, the Admirals Club passes are pretty powerful because you don't necessarily have to fly AA, at least from what you can see right here. It seems if you're just flying any one world partner, so even like Japan Airlines or a few on the screen right here, you can still have access to the Admirals Club classes, unlike American Express, when if you want to have access to the Delta Sky Club, you have to be flying Delta in the first place. So that's pretty cool. So part one of the plan is to launch a new card with a high welcome offer of 100k points, which we're going to show exactly how powerful they can be in just a minute. Introduce an annual fee $100 lower than the Amex Platinum card and $200 lower than the Sapphire Reserve. Introduce some really good multipliers, much higher than all of those cards combined. Add some credits that might actually be useful and as little as possible broken up throughout the year, just as the competition is doing. And add some lounge access so this way, if someone wants to go all in on Citi, you have the ability to do so. Now, of course, not the best lounge access on the market, but enough to get by. So just as Frequent Miler says, it's kind of more meh and nobody really wants more and more credits in their life. I will say if the card does come out the way it looks, it is a high competitor to the Sapphire Reserve or the Amex Platinum card for some people. And as per Reddit, apparently there has been a potential design leak in which the card actually might look like this. So that's interesting. So that's part number one, and allowing Citi to actually compete in the premium credit card space. Everybody wants to go premium nowadays, and Citi is no different. But number two of the plan actually stems into something that might change your wallet in the not so distant future. Let me explain. Now, check this out. As of last year, Citi introduced under the radar a new hotel program to allow for points transfers to. Now, this is called the I Prefer Hotel program. And you can see right here, you can transfer your Citi points to this hotel's loyalty program, I Prefer, at a ratio of 1 to 4. So 1,000 Citi thank you points equals 4,000 I Prefer points. Now, remember that for just a second. And I really do think this might change the overall credit card landscape because you know how everybody says that Chase and Hyatt are kind of synonymous with good value? I actually think the same will be said for Citi and I Prefer. Now, full disclosure, there are 650 luxury boutique properties all around the world in about 80 countries. That footprint is fairly small, and if you're unfamiliar, Hyatt has about 1,300 hotels worldwide, so it's about half the footprint that of Hyatt hotels. Now, let me show you how. So, this is the I Prefer hotel program right here. And I searched by Italy because I'm going to Italy very, very soon. And I wanted to see what kind of footprint they had until they found out just looking a little bit ago that they actually have a very large footprint in Italy. And I was checking other countries as well. Of course, check your own countries at home. But if we choose any one of these, we can see what the value proposition actually is. So let's just choose the first one that comes up on the list right here, the Castelfalfi. Looks very, very nice hotel. And you can see about 718 USD per night. So let's check the rates here. So you can see right here with taxes and fees included, it's about $1,139 for a single night at this particular hotel. So now let's switch it to use I Prefer points, the one that Citi can transfer to. You can see it's about 150,000 points per night. And yes, in some cases, you do have to pay taxes and fees on I Prefer. In this case, it's just $5.81, not that bad. So 150,000 points. So let's do some math on it for this particular hotel. So it's 1139 per night. You multiply that by 100, divide it by the points price, and you'll actually get a total of 0.75. Now you may be saying, Anthony, 0.75 is not a great cent per point. What are you talking about? Talking about Marriott here? Well, don't forget that the ratio transfers at 1 to 4 with Citi, which means we're doing the valuation on Citi thank you points not I prefer points. So we have to multiply this number by 4, and we get a cent per point of 3 cents per point. That is a pretty standard, pretty decent actually, Hyatt redemption that everybody kind of talks about as like the best value prop in the entire credit card game. So you can see right off the bat, just a random example, just the first one, you actually get a really good cent per point valuation. One thing you might see interesting here is notice how the cash prices changed all throughout the months that we were checking. Well, you can see it's always 150,000 points. It does not fluctuate. It's non-dynamic. So the points price today, it doesn't matter what the cash price is. It's always going to be that same points price. But let's do another example. I searched by everywhere in the entire world, and let's try to do one that's a little bit less points. Let's say right here in Finland, the Hotel Maria, 50,000 points per night. Now this, I don't know what this hotel is. I'm just choosing at random. So could be a good hotel, could be a bad one. Do your research at home. I'm just looking at the valuations. You can see with this, they're about 50,000 points per night, does not fluctuate. Let's see the cash price on it. Looks pretty standard at around $400 per night. So let's hit continue. So let's do the I prefer member rate, the cheapest one possible. Let's add those taxes and fees. So about $434 per night. Using I prefer points, you can see it's 50,000 and you don't have to pay anything for taxes and fees. So that's 434 multiplied by 100 divided by the points price, which is 50,000, and you're getting a cent per point of zero point 0.8. Multiply that by the ratio of 1 to 4, and you're getting a cent per point of almost 3.5. Also very, very good. So the low end and the high end are pretty similar. Let's do one more example. But let's go to the United States and let's see what they have here and domestically. They have an interesting guest house at Graceland in Memphis, Tennessee. This is Elvis's house, essentially. And you know what? For the heck of it, let's check out Elvis's house. 30,000 points per night. Cheapest room is 246 per night. Okay, let's do the same math. We get 0.82 multiplied by 4 once again. And there's a cent per point of 3.2. So every single example from the lowest end to the highest end all seem to be in trend over 3 cents per point, which I think is really, really strong. And just like I said with Chase and Hyde and good value, I think over time people are going to start seeing Citi as really good value when transferring to I prefer. Of course, their footprint is going to be varying depending on the locations that you're going to, and there's only 650 around the world, so you have to really make sure. But I mean, if you could just get a welcome offer on the new Strata Elite of 100K, and you can get a Strata Premier for 60K or 80K when it's elevated, I mean, that's a lot of nights in a really nice luxury hotel, pretty much anywhere you could find in the entire world. And that's not even to mention all the multipliers you could earn for the cards themselves. So step one of their plan is to introduce the Elite card, have some lounge access and some credits to rival the competitors. Step two was to have the ability to have a hotel transfer partner that provided good enough value that you would actually want to transfer your points there, which I think I prefer does foot that bill for me personally. And then step three, which is the most important one and the one they have to execute strongest on. And it's one that may not even be possible. But you guys know people have been speculating on this for years. But is American Airlines finally going to become a Citi thank you point transfer partner? And so while there's been so much speculation on this over the years, and is it going to be possible? Is it not going to be possible? Now, let me explain why this might be possible, but then also why it may not even matter in the first place. So, one, there have been some clues that have been left to let us know that this might be possible. One, Citi reached an agreement to acquire the entire swath of Barclays American Airlines co-branded cards. We're talking ones like the Barclays Aviator Red card right here from Barclays that I got not too long ago, where you could just make a single purchase on this card, pay a $99 annual fee, and you could earn 50,000 American Airline Advantage miles on that one purchase. Now, you guys know I like to take advantage of my special offers here, but this is the exact same card, but $0 annual fee for the first year. So if you're going to apply for this, make sure you do the $0 annual fee first year. And so this card, this Barclay card, may no longer exist at the end of this year, and it's going to be converted to some sort of Citi credit card now that Citi has reached this agreement. And so one, people like myself have gone out and applied for this card before it actually discontinues. But two, Citi has their own American Airline card lineup currently that offer insane amount of AA miles for really not that much spend. Like this one right here, for limited time, I just applied and was denied for it, but 80,000 bonus miles after just 3,500 in purchases in the first 4 months, which is really not that bad to hit. And it's a $0 intro annual fee for the first year. So Here's a Citi card that you can get today and apply after this video, and you'll get 80,000 bonus miles. You can get this Barclays card, an additional 50,000 miles. Heck, you can even get the business version of the exact same card we were just looking at and get 65,000 American Airlines miles, same $0 annual fee for the first year. And with a few cards, you could get upwards to 150 to 200,000 American Airlines miles without ever having to have American Airlines as a direct transfer partner in the first place. And if you're unfamiliar of what American Airlines miles can actually do, you could see I'm on seats.aero right now. This is from any American Airlines hub to Europe, Asia, and to Japan. And you can see a few different types of flights here. Like if we hit economy, you can see that there are a bunch of different flights. Like a flight I just did recently from Charlotte to London Heathrow, you could fly in premium economy for just 47,000 per ticket one way. American Airlines miles. Same goes for Miami to Barcelona, 50,000 premium economy or 70K for business class. Dallas Fort Worth to London Heathrow, Philadelphia to Madrid, Dallas Fort Worth to Amsterdam, Charlotte to Dublin, Dallas to Rome, like many different countries all throughout Europe and all throughout the Asias. So if you're going anywhere in Europe, Asia, or honestly anywhere in the world, usually AA miles, at least coming from an AA hub, you can fly there for a very cheap miles price, which once again, most of these tickets can be covered through just getting a few of these AA cards right here. And so while we would love to see American Airlines as a partner, right? We would absolutely love to see in this entire list of really strong transfer partners, mind you, like Citi has really good partners with, Cathay, people find really strong value, Emirates in certain cases, Etihad, Eva Air would be amazing if they were a little bit easier. Flying Blue, Qantas, I Prefer program, Qatar is like really strong transfer partners that I think most people sleep on or they don't see necessarily the value in it because, well, there's really not that many cards that you can earn a large sum of points like you can with Chase or American Express. But with this new card, if it does come out with a 100K offer, that just made these transfer partners that much stronger. And so I know we would absolutely love to see American Airlines right here as a direct transfer partner. If you look at a lot of the fine print on the Citi Strata Elite, this new card, you could see that they reference AA Advantage program, American Airlines, very often. Often enough to make you wonder, like, is this finally going to happen? Are we finally going to get a direct transfer partner to American Airlines? And I think if they did do that, that would absolutely revolutionize the entire credit card world as a whole. Because honestly, from that point on, because of people who know the value of American Airlines, everybody would go out and get the Strata Elite for the 100K offer. Everybody would go get a Strata Premier. Heck, they would even go and get the Citi custom caches and what have you if they have the ability to transfer that over to Citi Strata and multiply that and then transfer to American Airlines and just earn 5% cash back that can be converted to AA miles down the line. It would be absolutely amazing. And with those three steps alone, you not only get a premium credit card, all the credits, the lounge access, you get a powerful hotel program, you get a possibly, arguably one of the strongest airline programs in the entire world. You get all of those different things in this one ecosystem. And that alone will sway a lot of people to go out and run and get their Citi credit cards, myself included. But the biggest issue is that most people will note is that it's Citi. And they have to execute absolutely flawlessly, which might be a tall order, but they might actually be able to pull it off. And if they can, yeah, Amex and Chase, I think, have a lot of competition on their hands. If Citi can introduce this card, innovate, and add more partners over time, like we talked about, I think they could be a really strong player. Now, a couple of caveats are Citi has to actually perform. A lot of people don't have faith in that. I don't know where I stand on that. I hope they perform. More competition is better. And if they do, that also leads to another issue, which is devaluations. Right now you can flood the market with AA miles with, all of these three credit cards, and they introduce this new card and higher welcome offers. Yeah, there's a real possibility that everybody just transfer them over to American Airlines, and there could be some looming devaluation as these things tend to happen over time. Now, of course, that is a real risk. And what I always mention in this game, I always say, make hay while the sun's shining. If that happens, you transfer your AA and you book your flights as soon as possible, and then you sit and you wait and you replenish your stash for the future. And this way you kind of hedge yourself against any devaluation. Same can kind of go for the I Prefer hotel program. The right now it's kind of under the radar, not that many people talk about it, and the points prices can be kind of expensive in some cases. And it's non-dynamic, but this can go dynamic at any time, and it could be 100K for one night or 20K the night after or 300K the night after. So that's something that can change a lot, and they don't have the biggest footprint. The lounge access could be good, but again, that's more and more people people flooding the Admirals Clubs, which a lot of people end up loving. So there's a lot of things that can also go wrong, but I think there's also a lot that can go right. And I think the future for the credit card game is going to be very, very interesting if Citi can pull this off. And much like I've always said, all of these different credit cards want to go premium. Every single bank, Capital One, Citi, Chase, American Express, Built, all of these credit cards want to go premium right now. They want your money. They want the luxury audience. They want the richer audience to pay their bills. And I don't fault them for that, but they're all just following the leader, and that is American Express. And exactly in this video on how I detail exactly how American Express broke the entire credit card world. So check out this video and then subscribe to the free newsletter down in the pinned comment below for insights just like this. Free Discord just below that to carry on the conversation further with me and everybody in the Discord. And also subscribe to the channel if you like this. So thank you all for being here all the way to the end. I appreciate every single one of you. Take care, keep traveling, have fun.